What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the SWILL radio show. All right, so we're going to go talk about some more Jersey Shore Family Vacation Season 3, Episode 2, in case you guys didn't know Spanish. All right, cool. So we got the guys going back, doing their thing, guys, of course. And the show starts off with Mike Sorrentino after he just got his sentencing. And the guy, well, actually, the group was at the little cafe, still a little restaurant where they were waiting for the sentencing information on the news. They heard that Mike got 2 years, and they were crying, of course. That's how that last season one, episode 1 ended, of course. And they actually noticed that that was not Mike. It was actually his brother, Mark. So the news reporter gave the wrong information. So they were like, oh my God, it's so not fair. He's going to be gone for 2 years. And I'm over here like, yeah, that's bad, but that could have been worse. A worse situation. So it looks like he got 8 months at this point, but still, nobody really knows. So, I mean, 8 months, they're still crying about 8 months. 8 months is not that bad, guys. That's like a pregnancy minus 1 month. It's not too bad, guys. Like I said, it could have been 100% worse. So at this point, Mike is like, you know what? I want to go back home, collect my thoughts, do my own thing, this and that, and have a good time. Just, do my thing right now. And, then all of a sudden the cast, everyone else, all the crew is like, they're meeting up at the cafe, and they're like, wow, what's going on? They were describing that, it was like one of those things where it's like watching your best friend in a boxing match, and it was pretty brutal. All right, so yeah. All right, so the gang decides that they're gonna go ahead and give Mike a surprise, like little snacks and everything, stuff that he likes to eat a lot of. So they're coming up with chips, funfetti cakes, and a bunch of other little junk foods that he likes to eat. And they surprise him at his home, and he's ecstatic. He is, and I know he's showing for the camera, guys, because I know deep down this guy is hurt. He has all this stuff going on, and he's just like, I don't know what's going on. I changed my life, and this and that. I mean, just because you change your life doesn't mean that, because you did the crime, they're going to say, oh, you know what, never mind. But I think they're actually going a little bit lighter on him compared to what they could have done. 8 months or what, maybe less. It's honestly not that bad. Now, not saying that I want to do it, but, it's not that bad. So he's eating the cakes and everything. Then everybody's leaving, and they're talking about the dude ranch where they're taking him the next day. And he's like, yeah, we're going. But, at first he was saying he wasn't going to go because, this and that. But then his fiance, Lauren, was like, hey, you know what? You're going, period. That's what's going to happen. So the whole reason why being on the show, guys. That's why. You guys going to, it's a family vacation. You can't go anywhere without the family. All right, so flash forward to the next day comes up. Jenny pulls up. Everybody goes to Vinny's house. They show up there. Of course, Dina comes in and she has to pee and all that good stuff like that. And they go in. Vinny's mom is there cooking some stuff. And Vinny's like, hey, let's make them some cutlets. And his mom's like, okay, no problem. And this lady's cooking, man. Like, wow, where was this lady at all my life? So everybody shows up. Then Jenny shows up in a big giant party van. Big giant black van, and everyone's like, hey, wait, Mike's not here. And it becomes like a big situation, like a talk for like 2 minutes. I thought he was here. No, Mike's not here. He's not with you. Nope, Mike's not with me. I thought he was with you. Oh wait, I thought he was here. I thought that was kind of like lame. I don't know. That's weird. So they talk about that for a good couple minutes, and then they move on finally. All right, so they're like, should we call him or this and that? They're like, nah, I don't know, let's just go there. But one of the producers was like, hey, let me tell you guys something. We talked to one of Mike's people, which is like, when you got people, that means you're famous, guys. Period. So they're like, yeah, Mike's not feeling good. He's had a rough morning, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, wow. So we're just going to go ahead and show up. And they're inside the van, coming up with a little plan, more than likely to extract Mike from his home, basically. Not kidnap him, but, like they always do on their other shows, which is pretty cool. It's too to be expected. I figured it was going to happen. And you know how it goes, guys. All right, so rather than the group bum rushing up at Mike's house, they nominated Vinny and Bolly D to go up to the house and go get Mike. So they're at the little, I guess it's like the little screen where you can actually talk to the person upstairs or whatnot. And they're trying to find his name on a listing, and they couldn't figure it out. And they're just like, hey, how many Guidos does it take to ring a doorbell, basically? They couldn't figure it out. So they're like, you know what, let's just call him on the phone. So they call him on the phone, and Mike, of course, answered the phone right away. Doesn't go to voicemail or anything like that, like I expected. He answered the phone. And it was like, hey, how are you feeling, bud? This and that. He's like, oh, yeah, I have better days, basically. And they're like, hey, we're downstairs. And he's like, really? You serious? And they're like, yeah, we're downstairs, man. Coming to pick you up for the trip. And he's like, well, let me go ahead and pack and get a couple things together. And they were shocked because they were freaking there. He's going to say, no, I'm not going, not feeling it. But right now, the guy's in his feelings, guys. He's in his feelings. And it's to be understood, of course. No problem. All right, so they go back to the group and they're like, hey, he's coming. They're like, what? So they go to the little cafe. They're hungry. They're starving. So Mike comes down, puts his bags in the van. Then he goes into the cafe where everybody is, and they're cheering him on. And there's the other crowd of onlookers, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, we know these guys. Yay. They eat some food. Then finally they drive off. Then finally, Jenny's like, she's driving. She's like, hey, you know what? We're not stopping but like one time. And this is like maybe like a 4-hour trip possibly. I don't know how long it is from where they're at. But it's about a 4 or 5 hour trip from where they are. And they said they're not going to stop but maybe one time to use bathroom. So you better go now. So a little bit down the ways, Dina says she has to use the restroom. And, of course they're going to stop. They stop at the rest stop. I think they get a couple snacks and everything like that. But then when they come back to the van, they realize, oh, crap. We're stuck out of the van. We're locked out. And I'm like, oh, my God. It's just too easy to call a locksmith, guys. Like maybe $100, maybe. I don't know how much it is in their area, but that's roughly how much the going cost is. And Paulie's like, I'm going to go ahead and kick down the window. And they're like, no, you're not going to kick it. No. Of course, he's kidding. He's not going to kick the window. So for some reason, they go back into the little gift shop or one of the stores inside the little rest stop, and they have a Slim Jim, which you can use to stick through the window and, jimmy the window or the door unlock. So they buy one of those. And nobody can really do it except for Paulie D. They said Mike can't do it because he's pending, investigation, that kind of stuff. Can't afford the criminal record. So Paulie's like, it's my turn. I'm going to do it. So after a couple minutes, he figures it out and he gets the door unlocked. Everybody's cheering. They go in the van. They're driving off go to the Dude Ranch. All right, so they're doing their thing. So they finally make it to the Dude Ranch. They tell them, hey, your room is ready. They're pretty excited. They're happy. They go to the ranch. They went ahead and got Dina her own room because she's pregnant. And I remember they did this with Snooki. And I thought that was pretty weird. I mean, I understand that, you got to have your peace and quiet. You can't be around certain atmospheres and stuff like that. But, you're part of the group. You're on vacation with family. So family has to stick together. You got to do what family's doing. And it's like, what? All right, so the sleeping arrangement gets kind of, misconstrued here, basically. Jenny, which has a problem with Angelina, tells her, hey, you know what? You're going to sleep on the couch or the floor, basically. And we're going to let Dina have your room or your bed. So, Angelina's like, wait a minute. Why do I have to switch this and that? Why do I got to suffer? You guys gave the pregnant lady a room to herself. That's what she wanted. And now I have to suffer and sleep on the floor. I have a bad back. I can't do that. So it becomes like a big issue, guys. This fight, I thought they were about to start swinging. That's what I thought for sure. But of course, it didn't turn into that. They're like, wait a minute, we'll just go ahead and move a mattress. So Jenny picks up the whole mattress by herself, carries it from the single cabin where Dina was supposed to sleep, and brings it over. And I think she was going to say, put double mattresses and this and that. But Angelina's like, no, I'm not doing this. What am I, a dog? That's her own words. Dog. Rough, that kind of thing. But she is the outcast of the group, basically. So she is still trying to, bring herself back in. But I figured, this happened like a couple seasons ago that she was already good to go. But according to Jenny, not so much. She's still having some arguments. Then finally, Angelina goes outside. And then Mike's sitting on the porch on the guy's cabin, which I thought everybody's going to stay in the same room, but that wasn't the case. So she lets him know what's going on. He's like, what? And he's like, wait a minute. Are you guys, anyone over there hungry? And they're like, yeah, we're hungry. So they all decide to go out and get something to eat. And they go to like a little restaurant thing. And they see a bunch of people in there line dancing. And they're like, whoa, let's go ahead and try this line dancing out. And it's like, the redneck electric slide. So black people have the electric slide. White people have the line dance. It's pretty cool. It's pretty similar with a couple twists here and there. But of course, it's a similar dance. So they're doing their little thing. They're seeing how it goes. And after a while, they're like, you know what? Let's go back to the campfire, have some s'mores. So they go back, sit around the campfire, chop it up a little bit, and they talk a couple of little things. And then for some reason, Ronnie opens his mouth finally. Out of this whole episode, he opens his mouth and it's like, yeah, I got another baby on the way. And everyone was like, what? Jen's pregnant again. And they just couldn't believe it, man. It's like, bro, you got a toxic relationship. We seen this on previous episodes, guys. These two are not meant to be together. She's not a bad looking chick, but just because they look good, guys, don't mean it's all good. And they're like, I can't believe it. So they're busting his balls a little bit. Then finally he gets up, walks off. He's pissed off, and they're busting his balls. And then next thing you know, Snooki's like, hey, let's tell some ghost stories. So they, talk about some ghost stories. And then what happens is Vinny tells the story of Vinny. Not Vinny. Vinny tells the story of Ronnie. Breaks down the story of everything that's happened in the previous episodes as far as him and his baby mama Jen's relationship. And he put it together very well. Like, it was awesome. And that's pretty much how the episode pretty much ended, guys. It's pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to episode 3. I can't wait for it. Season 3, episode 3. Stay tuned for it, guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification, guys.
And we'll always keep you guys up to date on the latest trends.
Check out our Facebook and our Twitter. The links are in the description below.
Thanks for listening. Peace.